One of my most highly anticipated aircraft ever is coming to War Thunder. If you don't know, War Thunder's Operation Summer event for 2020 has just kicked off, whereby completing grinding tasks in-game, players can freely achieve low-rank premium vehicles like the Arado 196, a very famous German float plane which was actually made by the community, as well as some high-rank machines like the F11F Tiger, a US Navy jet fighter that I am incredibly excited for. On the flip side, there have also been some complaints levelled at Gaijin for this event that I want to address, so in today's video we're going to talk about the event itself, go over the vehicles briefly, and then talk about some of these other topics that have been floating around, as well as covering some tips and tactics you can use to make grinding these vehicles as pain-free as possible. Before we get started, this video is brought to you by Pledsto. Well, sort of. Pledsto is a crowdfunding and support platform for YouTubers that aims to fix some of the core problems with existing sites like Patreon or, I want to say, Ko-fi? Removing some of the hassle and complication with Patreon, which is what I and many others have been using, that requires viewers to create an account, etc. Pledsto will allow you to support your favourite creators quickly and easily with monthly donations for as little as 10 cents. Just 10 measly cents. That's like a cup of coffee every 4 years. By following the link below, you can support this channel with a micro subscription in just a couple of clicks, which, by the way, unlike Patreon, who want to take a massive bite out of your money, with Pledsto, it all goes straight to me. Pledsto is currently in its early stages, with new features being developed, such as a mobile app or a VIP chat area for backers, and they actually reached out to me personally to see if I would bring it to you lads and get your feedback for them. So if there's anything you think I should talk to them about, feel free to suggest it, and I can pass it on to the development team next time I speak with them. Of course, only donate if you want to and are able to. You lads can feel completely free to keep enjoying all the content here, free of charge, but if you do happen to enjoy and want to back the channel, then just know that a little goes a long way, and Pledsto aims to make it as easy for both you and me as possible. So, Operation Summer 2020. What do we have to grind out this time? So the Operation Summer event is going to go from now for the entire month of August. There are 6 vehicles coming for players to unlock, the first of which, the Arado AR196A3, a rank 1 German hydroplane, was developed by players Nova29R and Joy Division. This is the kind of aircraft you see on the catapults of ships like the Admiral Hipper, the Prinz Eugen. It was designed in the mid to late 1930s to basically standardise the scout fighters that the Kriegsmarine would have access to going into World War II. Obviously, as a hydroplane, it's not going to be fast. Its top speed is just a hair over 300 km/h. But armed with a pair of 20mm cannons, this thing should be quite fun, and given its historical significance, I hope we can get a tech tree variant of it, such as the A5, this is the A3 model, and the A5 improved in various ways. Next up, there's the IKV-73, a Swedish medium tank, which is basically a copy-paste of the Stridsvagn M42 at 3.0. I guess you could say it's... I know. Thank you. An Italian gunboat which builds on the P490 series we already see twice in the tray, and a Soviet Baltic fleet cruiser, the Maxim Gorky, sister ship to the Kirov, but with increased speed, armour, and anti-aircraft firepower. Am I weird for actually kind of wanting that? Whatever, nobody plays naval. Now, for the vehicles I'm sure you're all really here for, the rank 6s. Starting out with the Leopard C2A1 Mexus. This will be a German tanking game. It's actually a Canadian modification of the Leopard 1 with the Modular Expandable Armour System, or Mexus, on the hull and turret. Upgraded from the Leopard 1A3 or C1 in Canadian service in 2000, the C2 will most likely be firing the exact same rounds as the tech tree Leopard A1A1 at 8.7, but it does come with some noticeable improvements. Now, obviously the armour is the main one, which will come with a trade-off in mobility, making the C2 feel probably slightly more like a Type 74 in that it's a heavier Leopard 1 but with better protection. While I'm not sure of the Mexus' exact effectiveness, I doubt you'll be taking APFSDS rounds from automatics or CV90s, although Bradleys and BMP2s may struggle to get through you frontally, as will SPAGs, which, if you're a Leopard 1 player, you'll be thankful for. Additionally, as the turret of the C2 is based on the Leopard 1A5, not the 1A1, you will actually have thermal imaging systems, featuring the same optic as on the Leopard L44 prototype at 9.0. Because of all of that, this tank too may see a 9.0 battle rating, and if it does, it might get some new APFSDS rounds, I'm not sure, But one thing to note is that the Leopard A1A1 in German service at least never actually fired the fin round it has in game currently. That was designed for the 1A5. Now, I've got to admit, I do see why this vehicle was given to Germany and not to Britain, as a lot of players have been asking about. There's some real inconsistencies in this game as far as what nations get what vehicles, with Germany receiving the Mexus Leopard, which was built for Canadian use, even though Germany also gets the F86K Sabre Dog, a Seahawk with AIM-9s, multiple G91s, rather than the nations who originally built all of those aircraft. Canada is a Commonwealth nation, which means that it falls under administration of the United Kingdom and the Queen is the head of state. So Britain kind of has a better claim to this vehicle than Germany does. Or if Germany gets this, then surely Britain should get the Seahawk with Sidewinders, America the F86K. Britain should also get the Ram Mark II for the exact same reason. It's not an American, it's a Canadian or Commonwealth vehicle that Britain even used to train tankers with it in Britain, not to mention the Union Jack on the Canadian flag until 1965. America really had very little to do with the Ram, even though it was based on the chassis of the M3 Lee, besides just supplying the engine. And Britain supplied plenty of parts for it as well. What cinched it for me with the C2, however, is the fact that the add-on armour package that really makes it what it is wasn't designed in Canada. It wasn't built by them, rather it was designed and built in Germany for Canadian use. Hence, I think this vehicle kind of crosses over the line and becomes a German vehicle for the German tech tree, rather than a Canadian vehicle, which would therefore come to the British tech tree in-game. If those upgrades had been Canadian designed and built, then I would have said otherwise, and it's for that reason that I think the Australian AS1 should come to the British tree, as the Australians made those upgrades themselves. As for America getting the F86K, which they designed and built, I think it would make for another good event vehicle later down the line, specifically with the camo scheme from the Honduran or Venezuelan air forces that used it. Speaking of US jets, the last vehicle on this list is the F11F1 Tiger, otherwise known as the F11A, and this is the vehicle that I'm most excited for out of the bunch. It is a Rank 6 naval fighter jet designed by Grumman in the mid-1950s to replace the F9F Cougar, and it shows some real promising features. The F11F was capable of Mach 1.1 at altitude with an afterburning engine and carried 4 AIM-9B Sidewinders. One of the first supersonic aircraft to serve with the US Navy, the F11F was redesignated in 1962, along with many other aircraft in the US arsenal, as the F11A. You know how all the naval props have designations like F6F or F8F? Well, that's because the second F there denotes that the aircraft was built by Grumman, nothing to do with the variant. This is also true of McDonnell's F2H Banshee and F3H Demon, which were renamed to F2 Banshee and F3 Demon. The F4H was renamed F4 Phantom, and then from that point on, the next letter does mean variant, such as F4C or F4E. I actually did a video all about this topic several months ago, which you may have seen. It did fairly well, but if you haven't, I will leave a link below and on screen for you to check out. It's really interesting. Funnily enough, and what has me worried, is that Gaijin actually gets this wrong twice. Firstly, with the icon on the main Operation Summer page saying F11F1, which is wrong, it should be either F11F-1 or F-11A. They do then get it right at the top of the plane's individual dev blog, but then they get it wrong again down here anyway. Minor nitpick, but what do you come to this channel for? The F11F only saw service for 4 years without flying a single combat mission, as it was almost immediately outpaced by far more advanced jets such as the F8 Crusader, although it would be flown by the US Navy's Blue Angels flight team for over a decade, and would also serve as a supersonic trainer. In-game, this should be similar to the F100 Super Sabres at 9.7, which is the BR I expect this thing to get. Maybe slightly more nimble, but not quite as fast, or in other words, a more manoeuvrable F3H Demon with better high altitude performance. Be a lot of fun, especially given that hard BR cap at 9.7, meaning it won't be able to see top tier, or even be up tiered at all. I think it's unfortunate that this thing won't be available after the event ends, however, and whilst I know there are other variants, due to the low production and short service life of this aircraft, I doubt we'll ever see them in the tech tree. One thing I'm hopeful for is that the F11F heralds the arrival of those jet-era aircraft carriers like the Forrestal class, which is what it mainly served on. Gaijin did confirm almost a year ago that they were in the works, so potentially next patch alongside the F8 Crusader, And then maybe a little further down the line, rank 7 jets like the F-14 Tomcat. Keep in mind though that these high rank event vehicles are not premium, so just because this is a rank 6 does not mean that rank 7 must be coming, as I've seen some people suggest. While I do think rank 7 is coming soon, so don't go telling me I was wrong if it gets announced in 2 patches, that's nothing to do with this jet. Correlation, not causation. Anyone who said otherwise is just looking for links that aren't there. So, now that we've gone over the vehicles themselves, let's go over how you're going to get them, why some players are unhappy with some of these requirements, and why I don't personally think that all of those complaints are really valid. To unlock these vehicles, players will need to collect stars, which you do by completing tasks in game, such as killing a certain number of enemies, winning battles, capturing points, or bombing bases and aircraft, or getting kill assists. You need to complete 3 of these tasks inside a 2-day period to get 1 star, and then they'll be reset, allowing you to complete the same tasks in the next 2-day period for the next star. You can read up on all the exact requirements in the devlog, which I will link below, and you can check your progress in game by clicking on your nickname, going to achievements, and then finding Operation Summer. You can also purchase each star if you're not able to complete the requirements for it for that day or segment, with golden eagles, usually 1,000 each. And as for the higher rank vehicles, they will be added as coupons, so you may find them available on the marketplace after the event ends. Oh, why am I doing this to myself? Now, some people have been complaining about the fact that the kill requirement task doesn't scale down depending on which game mode you're in. For example, in air arcade battles, one of the tasks is to destroy 40 enemies, while that scales down to only 20 kills in realistic mode and 14 in sim. In tank and naval battles, however, the requirement is the same across all game modes. I don't think players should be complaining about this issues because, first of all, ARB doesn't have respawns, so there are less kills available for you to get, and as for Air Sim, most of your kills in that game mode are AIs, which don't count. In tanks or naval, anyone can get multiple kills, regardless of which game mode you're playing, while in air battles, when you move from arcade to realistic or sim, you're getting fewer and fewer opportunities to get kills over the same course of time, which is why those requirements are accordingly easier. Gaijin says that these requirements have been upped from previous events due to their rewarding players with more valuable and higher rank vehicles as the rewards, which in my mind makes perfect sense. And if you'll notice, the task to kill a certain number of enemies within a single battle does scale down in realistic and simulator mode for tanks as well. What a lot of players are complaining about, however, is the fact that these tasks are going to be very difficult to complete for someone who doesn't have a lot of time to devote to playing this game. And I've got to play devil's advocate for this one. These tasks are designed to be difficult enough that not everybody is going to have all of these vehicles, especially the higher rank ones. Otherwise, they are just not special. The low rank premiums you can get over the course of 2 weeks casual play very easily, but the high rank vehicles, if you're not able to fulfill all the tasks required to get them, they're going to cost you some money, and that is okay. That's the bar that should be set. These vehicles shouldn't just be grabbed easily by just anyone for free. These tasks are designed to be challenging for players, and you will have to rise to that challenge if you want to unlock these valuable and unique rewards. That brings me on to my next point, which is that these event rewards are either premium vehicles or high rank, even top rank units, which you can get for free, but only if you're good enough. The other alternative is to just pay for them as if they were regular premiums, and the more tasks you're able to complete by grinding, the more of a discount you get on that ending price. That is more than fair, and if you're unable to get all of these vehicles despite that, then so be it. They're not handouts. These things shouldn't be given out to everybody just for playing 10 matches of War Thunder in a month. That completely removes their value for those players who are skilled enough to get them, and, might I add, allows players who are only at tier 3, which is the minimum tier of vehicle you can complete the events in, to grind out top tier vehicles for free way too easily. Personally, I think these tasks are absolutely fine. If anything, I'd say they should be more difficult, but require fewer of them over the same period of time. But either way, if you're expecting premium or top rank vehicles for free with minimal effort, then that's on you. If you can't get them all, then make the choice of either the tanks or the aircraft and just go for them. You shouldn't have too much trouble. If you do, I'm sorry, these vehicles weren't for you. With that being said, God, I know people are going to be so butthurt on this video. I'm about to make your time a lot easier and potentially make your rewards even higher. These tasks are all substantially easier to complete when you play with others in a squadron, especially if you're in a Discord chat able to talk to each other live and coordinate your maneuvers. One of the aircraft tasks, for instance, is to drop a certain tonnage of bombs on bases, while another is to score a certain number of kills or assists. In a squadron, you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone, with one squad mate in the bomber going and doing that bombing task, and the others in fighters escorting that player and scoring what practically equates to 3 kills on the enemy players who came to try to yoink the easy bomber kill. Let's say that bomber player puts a couple of rounds on target with his turrets, and boom, you've got assists as well. You switch over the roles, and you can very easily complete all 3 tasks for each 2-day segment simultaneously. At the very least, it makes the game so much more enjoyable, and if you don't have friends who play War Thunder, you don't know where to find squads, I've got you covered there too. The Coalition Forces Discord server has over 1,500 members on it, most of whom are War Thunder players and are frequently looking to squad up themselves. For most of the duration of this event, we are going to be hosting a giveaway on the Discord. All you got to do to participate is squad up in the voice chats, play some War Thunder matches with some other members of the server, and submit screenshots of your results. This is a great way to make some friends and find some new people to play with. Just message the chat that you're looking for a squad and hop in one of the voice channels. They'll find you. The winning squad will be the one with the highest average player score, and each member of that squad will receive 2,500 Golden Eagles, so up to 10,000 total. Second place squad gets 1,000 Golden Eagles per player, and this will all be wrapping up on August 20th, in time for you to use those Golden Eagles to buy the last tasks of Operation Summer if you need that little boost to finish up. There are rules and additional information on the Discord, but you can play in squads of 3 or 4, be in as many different squads as you like, and if you want to play with me, I will be joining in some of them with you guys, so get on the Discord, get playing, share your results, and win up to 10,000 Golden Eagles between you. Anyway lads, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell icon, and let me know your thoughts about this event and this video down in the comment section below. I did obviously make this a wee bit of a different style of video. I'm tossing up doing some more like this, so again, let me know your opinions down there. And as always, keep a whiskey to hand, keep your kilt on, and I'll catch you next time. No! No! Not now! Not with so much on the line! Yes! Oh! Ah! That is what we needed! Whew. Oh! Oh, I just shit me pants! Oh my lord!